Great, so welcome to class. So what we're going to be doing this morning is we're going to be working with what I call deconstructed Sun Salutations. Sun Salutations is a flow of yoga postures that you move right the way through using the breath. So you move fluidly from one posture to the other. And it's actually a practice that you're meant to do before you start your main yoga sequence. So you would do a few rounds of the Sun Salutations called Surya Namaskar before your practice. And it's a beautiful way of warming up your body and energetically it aligns you with the energy of the sun. So that's the purpose of the Sun Salutations, which is why you do them at the beginning of a practice. So what I've done is I've taken each posture, each element of the Sun Salutations. We're going to do them separately and have a look at them. And then at the end, we're going to do a few of these Sun Salutations and see how that feels. But it's a nice way of working with yoga. And as I said, gets us into the whole flow kind of idea. We will also be starting with some core exercises though, before we do the Sun Salutation work, just to sort of get some energy going here in our bellies, all right? So let's settle ourselves down. First of all, we'll do some warm-ups first. And it begins with just feeling into a comfortable sitting posture for you. Just getting the sense of the contact with the mat through the shins and the tops of the feet, or through your seat if you're sitting on the floor cross-legged. Now that you're bringing your presence to the practice, to this moment, it begins with relaxing the mind muscle. So we're going to open up those imaginary cupboard doors and we're going to put everything into that cupboard. So whatever's been going on so far in the day, or whatever's going to be happening later on, we're not interested in that for the next hour. So we're just going to sweep it all into the cupboard and we're going to close the doors and just relax the mind. So just take some deep breaths now, in and out of the nose, straight into that vacated headspace. Feeling the lightness, the relief, in the letting go. Now that we're fully relaxed in the mind, let's take our attention then into the body for the usual body scan. So move your focus to your feet and relax your feet completely. And then moving up the shins, the calves, the knees, and the thighs. So just let the floor or the yoga support take your weight as you relax your legs completely. And then just tilt your pelvis slightly forward. Very supple movement, just enough so you get that sense of straightening up. The chest lifts, the shoulders broaden and drop. Perhaps lean back just a little so that you're grounding down through the sit bones, but without causing any tension. Arms are nice and heavy by your sides with your hands resting on top of your thighs, palms facing down. And your head is nice and centered between your shoulders. And the face is completely relaxed. It's holding no expression. So just letting go of the forehead, the area around the eyes, and the jaw. Just to make sure that you are fully relaxed, let's just do that body scan once more in your mind's eye. Start at the feet, work your way up to the top of your head. If you find any tension along the way, then just letting it go. Now that we're fully relaxed in the body, we're going to take our awareness to our breath. And you're breathing nice and easy in and out of the nose. So without changing the rhythm or its depth, just continue with your breathing, but take your mind now on the breath flow journey as it comes in through the nose, touches the back of the throat, goes down into the lungs, where it rolls over and comes back out. So just enjoying some conscious breathing practice for the next few minutes and tuning in to the gentle rise and fall of your chest. Lovely, and then we're just going to let that practice finish on the next exhale and go from here into the warm-ups when we take a breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to drop the chin down towards the chest. Inhale, take it away slightly. And then exhaling, drawing it a little closer to the chest. Inhale, take it away slightly. And then exhaling again, drawing the chin towards the chest, really stretching out the back of the neck. And then inhaling, rolling the head up towards the right shoulder. Just rotate your head enough so that you get that air right over the shoulder, stretching out the left side of the neck. And then exhaling, rolling the head back down to center. Inhaling, coming up on the left. So again, aligning the back of your head with the wall behind you, ear above the shoulder, stretching out the right side of the neck. And then exhaling, rolling it back down to the chest. Inhaling, coming up on the right. So just working with the breath then, rolling the head from side to side, nice and easy, really stretching out any tension that you may be finding here. Just making sure that you keep your spine nice and long and the shoulders are level and still. A couple more of these. Good. And then the next time your head comes down to center, we're going to force that practice and inhale, lifting our head back up to between the shoulders and continue with shoulder rolls. So send the shoulders back, circle them up towards the ears and forward. Send them back, up and forward. Inhale as they go back, exhale as they come forward. Still keeping our spine nice and long here. Good, and the next time the shoulders come to center, we're going to go the other way. Reverse the circles, forward, up and back. Forward, up and back, still working with breath. And the next time the shoulders come down to center, we're going to work with our seated spinal twist. So you're going to take your right hand to the outside of your left knee. The left hand rests behind you on the mat or up against the support. And then inhaling nice and long in the spine, exhaling, rotate. So you're rotating on your spinal axis here, anchoring the hands, the fingers down to draw the shoulders down. Good, and then we're going to come the other side. So the left hand to the right knee, the right hand rests behind you. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, turning. And doing that one more time each side. So the right hand back to the left knee, the left hand's behind you. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, rotating. Just turn your head as far as is comfortable, but keep drawing the shoulders down. Feeling the twist in the middle of the spine. Good. And then last time to the right, left hand to the right knee, the right hand rests behind you. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, turning. Good. And then coming back to center. So we're now going to come off the yoga support. If you are using them, and we're going to do a couple of more warm-ups on the mat on our spine. So come down, lie down, and then just bring one knee to the chest and then the other, and you can just have your arms by your side, and then just relax, just get really heavy, let yourself sink into the earth here, let the spine unwind, shoulder blades are resting on the mat, take some deep breaths in and out of the nose. And then we're going to work with the hip roll. So you can leave your arms by your side or take your hands now to the front of the knees. On an inhale, circle the knees out to the side, down and away. And when they meet, exhaling, bringing them back to the chest. So inhale, circle them out, down and away. Exhaling, bringing them back to the chest. Just going to warm up the hips. And the next time the knees come to center, we're going to slide the hands to the inside of the knees. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, let the knees drop out to the side. And just let gravity do its thing here as we take a nice relaxed inside thigh stretch. Just keep breathing in and out of the nose. And then on an inhale, bring the knees back to center, a couple of hip rolls just to ease that out. And then we're going to finish with some more circling. So keep your knees together this time. Choose which direction you want to go in, and then circle both knees in that direction. Drawing circles on the mat with the lower spine, easing out any tension you may be holding here. Next time the knees come to center, go the other way, the opposite way to the way you started. Next time the knees come to center, we are going to pause that practice. We're going to take a breath in, and as you exhale, rolling over onto one side and coming up onto your hands and knees. So the sequence today, we're just going to do a few core exercises here, core postures, before we get into the sun salutations. And the first one is sunbird. So this is where we get on our hands and knees into a neutral position, into tabletop. And then on an inhale, we lift up one arm and then the opposite leg, sending the heel behind. And then we alternate. So we go back and forth from side to side. Okay, so let's do that, working with the breath. So on an inhale, then we're going to lift up the right arm and the left leg. But just turn your palms so that it's facing forward, so that it's facing to the side. Line your ears with your upper arm, sending the heel away. So think of the letter T here, and the thigh is nice and perpendicular. Exhale, bring them back to the mat, and then the other side. Inhale, reach, and send the heel away. So just not raising the leg, but just keeping yourself horizontal. And then coming back to center. So finding your own rhythm, going back and forth, keeping the shoulders away from the ears, on the supporting arm. Just making sure we're not sinking down. Good, follow the breath. Few more of these, just it's a balance. So you're grounding down through the knee, the shin, and the top of the foot, as well as that front palm. So you spread the weight. Right, just a couple of more of these. Keeping those hips absolutely level. So I could put a cup of tea on your lower spine and it wouldn't spill. Right, so just one more. And then coming back to center. Good. So we're not going to come up off that blanket, and we're going to turn the other way. And we're going to do exactly the same thing, but on our spines. But this has an element of coordination challenge. So the way we start is we start on our back as if we were kneeling on the ceiling. So we've got our perpendicular thighs, our shins are parallel to the floor, our arms are up to the ceiling, palms facing. On an inhale then, we drop the left leg and the right arm, not touching the floor, and then coming back. Exhaling, inhaling, opposite arm and leg, sending the heel away from the hand, coming back to center, to the kneeling. So let's go ahead and do that, finding your own rhythm here. So inhaling, dropping the left leg, the right arm, but the other arm and leg stay still. Exhale, bring them up. Inhale, down. And then exhale, back up. Good. So we're having to ground down here through the back of the pelvis, through the shoulders. So this way of working on your back, you're getting more of a burn here in the abdomen than you were on the floor. Good. A couple more of these, but stop when you feel you've had enough. So one more. And then bringing yourself back to center. Good, take a breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to roll over onto one side. And we're going to come into standing. So we're going to begin the sun salutation work now, and it begins with mountain pose. So just getting yourself then to the top of your mat. I'm going to be facing you here. So get your feet underneath your hips, toes pointing forward. Tilt yourself back a little so that the thighs grip, the kneecaps rise, and then bring yourself forward. And the point where the kneecaps drop, that's where we're nicely balanced over our ankles, knees, hips, nicely stacked. Turn the palms forward. And then just start grounding yourself down through the soles of the feet. So we're getting a lengthening feeling here, up towards the ceiling, the chest is open. Just take a few breaths here, in and out of the nose. So the sun salutations start with this very grounding mountain pose. And then just letting that go on the next exhale. Take your hands in front of you, intertwine the fingers and point your forefingers. And then we're going to inhale and we're going to lift the arms up towards the ceiling. Just want to point up to the sky. So a nice long reach here. Keeping the spine in neutral here, just making sure that we're not sort of arching. So just keep yourself in a nice, comfortable straight line and reaching. So stretching, pointing to the ceiling. Take some deep breaths here, in and out of the chest. Lengthening the side seams. Take a breath in, and then we're going to let that go on the exhale out wide. Great. So the next posture is forward fold. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see, but you're going to stay facing forward. So hands to the heart center. Inhale, reaching up, and then exhale. Come forward now. Swan dive down into forward fold, and then immediately slide the hands up to half forward fold. So just place the heel of the hand now just below the kneecaps. Shift your weight into the balls of your feet so that we make sure that we've got our hips over our ankles here. Slight bend in the knee. And then we're drawing the tummy towards the thighs, sending the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And if your hands don't reach the floor here, you can just hold your elbows. But we're working with the half forward fold. So you're going to keep your hands here, straight arms, roll the elbows towards each other to open up the chest with your gaze to the mat. So we've got a nice horizontal line here. Getting a hamstring stretch behind the thighs. So take a few breaths here. But pressure through the palms into the shins to send the shoulders back and the tailbone away from the top of your head here. Good. And now we're going to go into full forward fold. I went into forward fold a little early there, but now we're going to take a breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to slide your hands down into full forward fold. Just make sure that the weight remains in the balls of the feet. And then if the fingertips don't reach the floor, you can hold your elbows here. So keep drawing the tummy towards the thighs with every exhale. Let the head hang really heavy, heavy, heavy. So this is another nice grounding posture. So the sun salutations start with mountain and forward fold, which are very, very grounding. Good. And then we're going to get ready to come out of forward fold. So we're going to bend the knees, send the arms forward on an inhale, rounding down strongly through the feet, reaching up, and then exhaling, letting that go. Good. Now, for this next bit, if you like having support underneath your knees, you're going to have your blanket across your mat. And if you've got them, a couple of blocks on either side of the top of your mat. So from the top of the mat then, we're going to come back into low lunge. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to step back with your left foot, calming down with your hands, placing that knee on the blanket, and then scooting the right foot forward until the ankle is underneath the knee. So this is perpendicular here, and then coming up with the torso here, so that you're in between the legs. So the hips are facing forward to make sure that the spine isn't twisting, and then start grounding down through the balance here. So it's through the front foot and through the knee, shin, and top of the back foot. You can have blocks here to help with the balance if you need them, or just leave the hands on the right knee, just lightly. So just take some breaths here and feel into that stretch in front of the left hip, but you're grounding down through your legs. So a couple of more breaths here. And while we're here, we're just going to add a little shoulder opening. So now just take your hands behind you, intertwine the fingers, roll the shoulders back, And then straighten the arms, sending the knuckles towards the mat. Keep the spine in neutral here, so it's not an arch. We're just opening up the shoulders. This is perhaps challenging the balance a little bit more. And then letting go of the arms. And now we're going to add a little hamstring stretch here. We're going to go into half monkey pose, Hanumanasana. So with the blocks perhaps ready, you're going to now swing your hips back so that your left thigh is perpendicular to the mat. You flip the toes up, you flex that right foot so that the heel is on the mat. Keep a slight bend in that knee. Nice long spine. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, drawing your chest now down towards the right thigh. Just make sure that you've got that slight bend in the knee here and that your hips are centered. So resisting the temptation to swing out to the left. Keep yourself nice and centered and just find your edge here. Spine nice and straight. Head in line so that we're not straining the back of the head. Very deep and focused hamstring stretch this. Keep breathing. Just have a look at the alignment here. Yeah, so bring your hips a little bit further forward. There, yeah, so that you've got your thigh absolutely straight. Good. Lovely. And then on an inhale, you're going to lift up now. You're going to place your hands, let's go over the blocks, place your hands to the inside of that right leg, swing it back, and we're going to have a little stretch in puppy pose. So tuck your toes under, lower your hips halfway to your heels, stretching the arms forward, palms facing down, and then aligning your ears with your upper arms. This is a nice shoulder opener and spine lengthener here. Keep sending that tailbone away from the hands. Lengthening, lengthening. Couple more breaths here. Good, and then on an inhale, you're going to come up and you're just going to bring your hands now about a hand's length long forward towards your knees as we go into our down face dog. So your toes are already tucked under. So on an inhale, then lifting the knees off the mat, making sure those feet are hip width apart. And now we're going to ground down strongly through the palms of the hands. And if we need to bend the knees in order to align our ears with our upper arms, then we're going to do that. And then keeping just a slight bend in the knees, we're going to play with bringing those heels towards the mat. So strong balance this. Gorgeous spine lengthener. You can also alternate with knee bends here to give yourself a little calf stretch. Couple more breaths here, in down dog. Take a breath in, and as we exhale, lower your knees to the mat. And we're just going to come down into child's pose now for a few moments. So we're going to take the knees wide, toes together, sinking back, placing the forehead on the mat. Now, if you need a block here for your head, then go ahead and do that. Arms forward or by your side. So just find a comfortable child's pose where you can get into the full restorative position. Just taking deep breaths in and out of the nose here. Couple more breaths in child's pose. Good. So then on an inhale, we're not going to come forward. So just slide forward onto your forearms, bringing the knees back in, straightening out your legs and bringing your hips down onto that blanket. Now we're going to work with Cobra, which is a posture in the Sun Salutation pose. So we're going to come all the way down with our forehead on the mat, and we're going to have our hands on either side of our chest here. We're going to keep the elbows in. Okay, so from here, we're going to take a breath in, and as we inhale, we're going to start to lift the head, then the torso, and then we put pressure through our hands to come up as far as is comfortable. Now keep your shoulders away from your ears and the elbows in. Take a couple of breaths here. Again, just relax your head. This is very strong for your arms here, and this is now a proper back bend. Keeping the elbows in. Take a breath in. As you exhale, come down nice and easy to the mat. We're going to do that one more time. So just take a breath in and out before we do that again. Okay, so then on an inhale, here we go. Lifting the head off the mat, then the torso. Now apply the pressure through the palms, keeping the shoulders away from the ears and the elbows in. Good. Head in line with the spine, so just making sure we're not sticking our chin out. And then take a breath in, calming back down. And we're going to push ourselves back into puppy pose here. So place your forearms on the mat, swing the hips back, bring the knees onto the blanket, toes are tucked under, stretch out your arms, lower the hips halfway to the heels, align the ears with the upper arms and just lengthen us. So just stretch out the shoulders and the arms after that cobra work. Good, and then you're going to come up on an inhale, and we're going to go into down face dog again. So bring the hands a little closer to your knees. The toes are already tucked under, and then on an inhale, lifting the knees off the mat, and finding our alignment in down face dog then. So strong through the palms and the whole of the palms. Align your ears with your upper arms. Strong through the feet, slight bend in the knees, lifting the tailbone up towards the ceiling, drawing your tummy towards your thighs. Good. Take a breath in. As you exhale, drop your knees now down to the mat, and we're going to do low lunge on the other side. So now you're going to bring your left foot forward. Let that knee stay behind and scoot the left foot forward so that you align it with your knee, nice and straight here, and then coming up into your low lunge. You might need the blocks here, or just letting the hands rest on the top of that knee. Good, making sure that the hips are facing forward so that the spine is nice and straight, and we're just stretching out the right side here, grounding down through the whole of the front foot, knee, shin, top of the back foot. Let's just have a little look here. Yes, that's nice, good. And let's just add that little shoulder opening as well. So take your arms back now. Much stronger in the balance here. Intertwine your fingers, roll the shoulders back, and then send the knuckles down towards the mat. Strong through the contact with the mat here. Couple more breaths here. Good. We're going to let go of those hands, and now we're going to swing ourselves back into half monkey pose. So again, maybe you'll need the blocks here as you align the hips now over that right knee so that you've got a perpendicular and straight right thigh. Flip the left toes up towards the ceiling. Slight bend in the knee here. Take a breath in, and as you exhale with a nice straight spine, draw your chest towards your left thigh. So we're finding that hamstring stretch on the other side. Keeping the hips nice and centered. Another really strong hamstring stretch here. Just look back and make sure that you've got a nice straight thigh. Because if the hips are too far back, then you're not getting that stretch as deeply as you could. Good, a couple more breaths here. And then we're going to come up on an inhale. We're going to move the blocks out of the way if we're using them. Place the left foot now down onto the mat, and we're going to come into forward fold from here. So bring the right foot through. And let's just have a few more breaths here in full forward fold. Perhaps it feels a little different now that we've been stretching out either side. Doesn't matter. Keeping a slight bend in the knee, weight through the balls of the foot. Good, and then we're going to get ready to come out into mountain. So bending the knees, arms forward, reaching up. And then exhaling, bringing your hands to the heart center, and just taking a few breaths here, feeling into the body now, and how that is, having fully worked both sides in the Sun Salutations. Good. So now we're going to do the full flow. We're going to do one side and then the other, and that will be one round. And we're going to do a couple of rounds. So I'll do it slowly. And we're working with the breath. So here we go, standing at the top of your mat. Find your mountain pose. Hands to the heart center. And inhale, reaching up. Exhale, lower the arms into full forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. Hands down, left foot back, down onto the knee. Inhale, looking up, low lunge. Hands flat, exhale. Send the right foot back into down face dog. Inhale, knees, chest, elbows in, into cobra. Tuck the toes under, exhale. Lift yourself back into down face dog. Inhale, knees down, left foot through, looking up, low lunge. Exhale, right foot through, into forward fold. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands to the heart center, mountain pose. Other side. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive into forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, right foot back, low lunge, looking up. Exhale, hands flat, foot back into down face dog. Inhale, knees to the mat, then the chest, then the chin. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, into down face dog. Inhale, down with the knees, right foot through, looking up, low lunge. Exhale, left foot into forward fold. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, into mountain. One more round. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive into forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, left foot back, knee to the mat, looking up, low lunge. Hands flat, exhale, right foot back into down face dog. Inhale, knees, chest. Inhale into cobra, elbows in. Tuck the toes under. Exhale, down face dog. Inhale, knees down, left foot through, looking up, low lunge. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale into mountain pose. Other side. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, swan dive into forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, right foot back, knee to the mat, looking up, low lunge. Hands flat, left foot back, down face dog. Inhale, knees to the mat, then the chest, then the chin, elbows in, into cobra. Tuck the toes under, exhale, into down face dog. Inhale, knees to the mat, right foot through, low lunge, looking up. Exhale, left foot through, forward fold. Inhale, reaching up. And then exhale into mountain. Lovely. Take a few deep breaths in and out. And that is Sun Salutation sequence. Excellent. So hopefully feeling stretched, but at the same time energized from putting all of that together in a yoga flow. And we now have arrived at our relaxation, well deserved. So you're going to come down onto the mat and find your Shavasana. If you've got a bolster, then maybe have it underneath your knees. Lying down, arms at a sight distance from the body, palms facing up. Just making sure that you're comfortable and warm. Perhaps a blanket over you or underneath your head. So just making your final adjustments. Just making sure that your hair, your clothes aren't pulling in any way. And then once you are fully in your Shavasana, just allow yourself to get really weighty, really heavy here. Just sinking into the earth beneath you. Perhaps do a quick body scan just to make sure that you are fully relaxed from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And then letting your breath settle down into a nice easy rhythm in and out of the nose. And we're disengaging with any thoughts, any sounds. So taking your attention now within to that place of hovering between fully awake and asleep. And you'll hear the bell when we're ready to come out. Just bring yourself back into the room, back into the body now. Just making some gentle movements to the hands, to the feet. And if you want to, taking your arms up over your head and taking a nice long stretch down the length of the body. And then bringing one knee to the chest and then the other. And if it feels all right, hugging the knees, taking a gentle rock from side to side. And then rolling over onto your right side and just pausing there, taking some deep breaths into the back of the chest. And then pushing the upper arm into the mat and gently rolling yourself up into comfortable sitting. Taking your hands to the heart center, thanking the body for the hard work during this practice and for always supporting us in our daily lives. And then hands to the forehead for kind and loving thoughts. Hands to the mouth for kind and loving words. And then back to the heart center for always staying open in love. And we can say namaste. Thank you. Lovely. So thank you for joining me on the mat.